new yoga series here. It's called Yoga Inspired by Nature. I'm Molly, I'm your teacher. There's gonna be 4 classes, and each class will be inspired by a different aspect of nature, both in the peak pose that we find, but also in the style of the class. So the first one will be inspired by mountains or peaks. So we're gonna have a peak flow based practice where we work up to a peak posture by taking a steady warm up and then taking a cool down afterwards. Second class will be inspired by trees and forests. It'll be a nice rhythmic, repetitive mandala sequence with an emphasis on heart opening. Our third class will be inspired by the desert, so really kind of spacious and exploratory, taking up as much room on the mat as we want, and also taking extra time in certain poses. And then the fourth class will be inspired by the ocean, ebb and flow, so both with the flowy postures we find, but also with the moving through more energetic sequence followed by a more calming sequence, just like the rising and falling of the tide. So that's what you have to look forward to. Today's class is our peak pose. We're gonna really strengthen through the front body and then open up through the back of the hamstrings, working our way up to Tadasana firefly pose. Grab your mat. If you want, you can practice with 2 blocks to find some elevation, and then we'll get started. So today we're gonna begin in a child's pose, somewhere along the middle to back of your mat. Press your hips back to your heels, extend your fingertips long in front of you. Lower your forehead down. So I want you to just call to mind an image of a mountain or a peak that you've been inspired by or gotten to visit. And just call to mind the different qualities of this aspect of nature. Super strong and resilient and grounded, literally grounded in the earth, of the earth. Building upon itself, it finds elevation, it finds a peak. So in this practice, we will work on rooting to rise. And if you want, you can take some personal aspect going on in your life and create an intention here, given the theme of the class. And we'll take 3 breaths to seal that in. Good. Blink your eyes open if they were closed. Stretch your fingertips even further in front of you. On an inhale, I want you to think cow with your spine as you lengthen the bottom of your ribs, almost as if they could go past your knees. And then exhale, release back into normal child's pose, letting the ribs slide upwards along the thighs, forehead rest down. Inhale. Rise up, stack your hips over your heels, arms overhead, rooting to rise. And then exhale, stretch your fingertips long, lower down into child's pose. Inhale, cat version or cow version of child's pose. Ribs lengthen along the spine, along the thighs. Chest forward slightly. Exhale, release to child's pose, curl in, tuck the pelvis under. Stack your body on top, inhale, rise, arms overhead into your kneeling position, and then exhale, fingertips forward, lower down again. Inhale, cow version of your child's pose. Exhale, release. Breathe in, rise up, stack your shoulders over your hips, reach your arms high. Exhale, fold your body in between your thighs, find child's pose. We'll start to move a bit more through the spine as you inhale, ripple your spine forward, stack your shoulders over your wrist, think cat. And then exhale, tuck your toes, send your hips back towards your heels, cat with the back. Tailbone flicks up towards the sky as your chest reaches forwards. Moving with the breath, inhale, cat pose, shoulders over wrist, puff up through the back of the heart. Exhale, untuck your pelvis, send your hips back towards your heels, gaze forwards. Inhale to round and lift. Exhale to arch and dip and glide back. 2 more. Inhale through your cat. Weight over the thumbs. Exhale, untuck your hips, send them back. Let your chest lift forward, but let your hips win. One more time with your breath. And letting that steady pace of the breath, the slow, gentle pace, just set the tone for your whole practice today. Rise up to a neutral tabletop. And then weight through the top of your left foot, nice and steady through both hands. Inhale, press your right heel back as you extend through your right knee. Exhale, right knee comes to the outside towards your right elbow. Engage through that right glute. Core is steady. Inhale, extend right leg long. Exhale, tuck knee to nose, curling in towards the center. Inhale, extend, press through your right heel. This time, keep your right leg straight. Bring those toes out towards the edge of the mat. Inhale, straight leg behind you. Exhale, curl knee to nose. Round through your upper spine. Tuck your left toes. Inhale, three-legged dog. Send the right leg high. Exhale, bend your right knee, open your hip. Chest has the option to spiral open if you want. Inhale, lift up onto the ball of your left foot, lifting the heel. And exhale, lower the heel down, then bend into your left knee. Once more like that. Inhale, rise onto the ball of the foot. The outer right hip is still lifting. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Inhale, three-legged dog, square the hips. Exhale, right knee to nose, go forward to plank pose. Inhale, three-legged dog, send that right leg high behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Stay for the inhale, press through the hands, puff up through the back of the heart. And then exhale, plant your right foot on the outside of your right hand. Inhale, open your chest forward, broaden through your collarbones, finding this lizard low lunge variation. And then exhale, modified pyramid, straighten into both legs. Back heel is lifted, right foot is on the outside of your right hand. Inhale, bend into your right knee, send your chest forwards, sinking the hips low to the mat. Exhale, straighten into the right leg, modified pyramid. Inhale, bend through the right knee. This time we're going to lower into lizard pose. Keep that back leg elevated if you can. Keep the right big toe plugged into the mat. Then walk the hands forward. Find a little bit of movement through your hips. Still hugging the inner thighs in towards midline. If you can lower down onto your elbows here. Find your own balance, your own threshold. And 2 more breaths. Really emphasizing opening up through the back of your hamstrings and your inner thigh. If you lowered onto your elbows, rise back up onto your palms and lower the left knee to the mat. This time you have the option to roll onto the blade edge, the pinky edge of your right foot, and press your right palm into the right knee. Stay long from hip bones to armpits. Stay long from shoulder tip to shoulder tip. And then again, if you want to lower down onto the left elbow, take that option, open a little more. 2 more breaths. Inhale, plug your right big toe in, plant your hands, lift your back left knee. Exhale, high plank. Right foot meets the left at the back of the mat. Press your chest forward, stay long through the crown of your head, the back of your neck. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, lower right forearm to the mat, left forearm to the mat. Forearm plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, push back up, right palm, left palm. Downward facing dog, glide the hips back. Inhale, roll forward, ripple your spine, come to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, lower your elbows 90 degrees. Inhale, flip onto the tops of your feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, glide your hips back, downward facing dog. Take an extra breath here. And didn't even notice this before, but feel your body looking as if it's a mountain. This upside down V. So hips untuck, tailbone reaches up towards the sky, even if that means you bend your knees. Keep your low spine long. Stay grounded through all 4 points of contact into the earth. One more breath. Good. Walk your feet out wide, and then toes come out, heels come in, hands walk all the way to the back of the mat, drop down into Malasana. So knees are wide, elbows are on the insides of your knees, pressing in towards each other, thumbs can come to heart center. If you can't lower all the way, find a prop to sit onto or just come into a bit higher of a squat. Take a breath in here. See if you can grow taller through your spine. Take a breath out, ground through your heels, ground through the balls of your feet. Stay active. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, press through your feet, come to stand. And then exhale, lower your hands to your low back. Inhale, chest lifts to the sky. Exhale, press your hips forward as you lean back. Inhale, straighten out your spine. Arms overhead. Exhale, lower down into Malasana. At the bottom of the rep, the elbows bend and come in towards center. We'll do that again. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, spike into your heels. Stay active through your feet. Inhale, reach your hands high to the sky. Interlace your fingers and stand all the way up. Exhale, hands release to the low back space. Inhale, rise a little taller. Exhale, press your hips forward, your shoulders back. Opening up through the front of your hips. Inhale, straighten out your spine, arms overhead. And exhale, bend your knees lower down into Malasana. Inhale. Find your tallest posture, and then exhale, walk your hands to the front of the mat, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, ripple the spine forward to high plank. And this time, exhale, lower both knees to the mat. Find your tabletop pose. Ground through both hands, ground through your right shin and the top of your right foot. Inhale, left heel behind you, stretch that leg long. Exhale, left elbow out to the side towards your left shoulder. Inhale, stretch it long, extend it behind you. Exhale, left knee to nose, curl it in, puff up through the back of your heart. Inhale, extend. This time, keep that leg straight. Exhale, left toes towards left corner of the mat. Inhale, extend it behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Tuck your right toes. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left heel high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Option to spiral the chest open. Inhale, rise onto the ball of the right foot. Exhale, lower the right heel as you bend your right knee. Once more like that, inhale. Lift the right heel from the mat. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale, three-legged dog, square the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, tiger curl. Inhale, three-legged dog, re-extend. Exhale, left knee to the outside of the left elbow. Stay for the inhale, press the ground away. Find some elevation. Exhale, plant the left foot on the outside of the left hand. Inhale, runner's lunge, lizard lunge variation. Back knee is lifted. Chest reaches forward, sinking the right hip to the mat. And then exhale, modified pyramid, straighten to both legs. Back heel is lifted, finding length through the back of your left hamstring. Once more like that. Inhale, bend into the left knee. And exhale, modified pyramid. Good. Inhale, bend into the left knee. And then exhale, keep that left big toe plugged in. Walk the hands forward, find your lizard variation. So taking a few breaths just to create circles or shift back and forward. And then if you're feeling open enough, you can drop down onto the elbows. Inner thighs are still hugging in towards each other, core is active. 2 more breaths. Good. If your hands are planted, or if your elbows are planted, come back onto the hands. This time, lower the right knee down to the mat. Roll onto the pinky toe edge of your foot, and then press your left hand into your left knee. Again, stay long, stay open across the chest. And if that feels okay, you can lower down onto your right elbow. And stay for 3 breaths. Think about sinking your right hip heavy towards the mat. And you open up through your left hip, your left groin. 1 more breath. Good. Come back onto your palms as opposed to your elbows. Plug your left toe back into the mat. Lift your right knee. Inhale. Exhale, step the left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Find that long spine. Inhale. Exhale, lower left elbow and then right elbow to the mat, forearm plank. Stay for the breath in. And then exhale, push left hand, right hand, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll the spine forward to plank pose again. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your heels in, your toes out, nice wide stance, and walk your hands to the back of the mat. Sinking your hips between your heels, find Malasana Yogi Squat, and breathe here. Take an inhale, find your shape. Take an exhale, spike into the feet, spike into the heels. Inhale, hands interlace over your head, rise up to stand. Exhale, hands to the low back space. Inhale, reach your chest high. Exhale, press your hips forward. Inhale, arms overhead, interlace your fingers. Exhale, sink back into your yogi squat. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, press your elbows into your knees into your elbows. Exhale, spike into your heels, prepare. Arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, hands to the low back. Inhale, root through your feet, but grow really tall through your spine. Really long through your side waist. Exhale, press your hips forward. 1 more inhale, straighten up. Arms overhead, and then exhale, sink into your yogi squat. Walk your hands to the front of the mat, find downward facing dog. And we'll take 1 little vinyasa here to rinse out the spine. So inhale, roll forward to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Tuck your chin. Exhale, glide your hips high, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Good. Stay steady through your palms and your left foot. Inhale, reach your right heel high, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, lift onto the left ball of the foot as you bring your right knee to nose. And then exhale, plant your right toes in the middle of the mat. Just find a little straighten into that right leg. So kind of like a pyramid down dog variation. And then inhale, tiger pose again. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do that again. Inhale, three-legged dog, reach the right heel high. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. Inhale, pluck the left heel off the mat. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. And then exhale, release those toes right in the middle of the mat. Try to straighten and find length through your back right hamstring. Inhale, tiger curl. Right knee to chest. This time, plant your right foot between your thumbs. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge, high lunge. Wrap the right hip back, the left hip forward. Hug the inner thighs together. Stay long and tall through your side waist. Exhale, cactus the arms. Press the hips forward, tilt the heart skyward. Inhale, arms, hands meet in front of you, diagonal with the trunk. And then exhale, spin open to warrior two, back heel pivots flat. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Left hand is weightless down the left leg. Right arm overhead. Exhale, modified side plank, right elbow to right knee. Left bicep framing the ear. Inhale, reverse your triangle, straighten into both legs. And then exhale, find full triangle. So right hand can come onto the block, come onto your shin, somewhere on the inside of the left shin. I'll take a moment just to find your shape. So shimmying those hips back behind you, staying long through your right side waist. Reach your left fingertips high. We're really opening up through the groin, through the adductor and the hamstring here. So scoop that right sit bone underneath you as you find more breath into the left lung. Inhale. And then exhale. Find goddess on the long edge of the mat, turning the left heel in, toes out. Sink the hips between the knees. Inhale. Grow tall through the crown of your head. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, rise slightly. Exhale, sink even lower. One more inhale. Exhale, sink into your goddess pose. Engaging the outer glutes to roll the knees out to the side. Good, inhale, straighten, toes in, pigeon-toed. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Drape the body down. And adjust the feet as wide or narrow as you need in order to find the hands on the outer part of the ankles. And we'll just take a few breaths here. So both engage the core and the hip flexors in order to bring your body close to your thighs, but also you can use your hands to assist you here. 3 breaths. Send weight into the outer edge of your feet. Plug into your big toes, engage your inner arch of your feet. And breathe into your groin. Good, one more inhale. And then exhale, walk your hands to the back of the mat. Find pyramid pose. So right toes are at an angle, left toes are straight. Take an inhale, bend into your left knee, reach your right arm high, kind of like a modified side angle. Exhale, wrap your right arm behind your back and wrap your left arm underneath your left thigh. So finding the bind here, stay long through your spine and don't let your hips poke out to the left. Hug them in towards the center of the mat, inhale. And then exhale, see if you can find triangle here, but straighten your left leg, keep the bind, roll the right shoulder up to the sky, walk the right foot in if you need. 2 breaths. Good, inhale, release the bind, plant the hands at the back of the mat, lift the right leg to parallel. So supported warrior 3. And exhale, curl the right knee in towards your forehead. Plant through your right foot, root to rise, inhale. Right knee to chest, stork pose, hands underneath your right thigh. And then exhale, see if you can straighten into that right knee, point the toes. Stay for an extra breath. Press the ground away with the left heel. Exhale, engage the right hip flexors. Engage the core. Good. Inhale, supported warrior 3. Exhale, plant that right foot behind you, coming into our runner's lunge. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, both hands to the mat. Step your left foot back to meet the right high plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower right elbow, and then left forearm plank. Puff up through the back of the heart. Take a breath in. Exhale, high plank, right hand, and then left, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple the spine forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, building some heat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, take 2 breaths. And then we'll move through the other side. Strong through the palms and the weight mostly through the index and thumb side of your hand. Inhale, 3-legged dog, reach the left heel high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip, option to spiral the chest open. Inhale, pluck the right heel off the mat, come under the ball of the right foot with the left knee into chest. And then exhale, release the left toes right in the middle of the mat. Try to straighten into that leg, opening through the hamstring, your modified pyramid down dog variation. Inhale, tiger curl, left knee to chest, toes off the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, 3-legged dog, square the hips. Exhale, bend the left knee, open the hip. Inhale, rise onto the ball of the right foot, bring the left knee in towards the chest. Exhale, plant those left toes, straighten into the left leg. Inhale, tiger curl, left knee to chest, press through the mat, separate the shoulder blades. Exhale, left foot between the thumbs. Hug the inner thighs together. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms. Tilt the chest up. Inhale, chest leans forward, hands meet in front of you. And exhale, warrior 2. Open up to the side, swivel the right heel down, bend into the left knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand is weightless on the right leg. Left bicep framing the ear. Exhale, modified side angle, left knee, left elbow meet, right arm overhead. Inhale, reverse your triangle, straighten. And then exhale, find full triangle. So walk that right foot in if you need. Left hand finds your shin, finds a block, whatever you need. And then take a moment to find that alignment in your pelvis, not letting the hips sneak out towards the left, but hugging everything in, scooping that left sit bone underneath you. And once you find a length through your side bodies, you can start to reach that right hand high. Take a couple breaths here. Gaze can follow the right thumb. See if you can create length from your left hip bone through your left armpit. One more breath in. And then breathe out, goddess pose. Right toes point out, right heel in towards the long edge of the mat. This time, cactus the arms out, staying expansive through the chest. Inhale. Exhale, sink lower. Inhale, lift out slightly. Exhale. So we're like taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Inhale, lift slightly. Exhale, sink into your goddess. Good. Straighten both legs, turn your toes in. And then exhale, wide-legged forward fold. And again, adjust your stance as you need to find the hands on the outsides of the ankles. Drawing the head closer down towards the mat, drawing the belly closer in towards the tops of the thighs. Good. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, pyramid towards the front of the mat. Left toes angle in, right toes point straight ahead. And then inhale, bend into your right knee. Reach your left hand high. We're gonna find that bind behind your back and then underneath your right hamstring with your right hand. Take an inhale here to peel the left shoulder open. And then exhale, see if you can straighten into the right leg, find bound triangle pose. Take 2 breaths. If that's a lot, just think about wrapping the left hand behind your back and towards the inner right thigh. 1 more breath. Good. Exhale, release. Inhale, hips squared. Plant the fingertips in front of you. Supported warrior 3, lifting the left heel, pressing it back towards the wall behind you. And then exhale, curl left knee into chest. Root through your right foot. Inhale, stork pose, left knee to chest. Hands interlace underneath your left hamstring. And then exhale, straighten into the left leg, point through the left toes. Stay for 1 more breath in, grow tall. Engage through the left hip flexor. And then exhale, supported warrior 3. Good. Inhale, bend into the right knee. Find our runner's lunge. And then exhale, plant through both hands. Step the right foot back to plank pose. Stay for a breath in. Grow long across the collarbone. Exhale, lower left elbow, right elbow, forearm plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, push back. Left palm, right palm, downward facing dog. Take 1 vinyasa. Inhale, roll the spine forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower the knees to the mat at the same time. Sit your hips onto your heels. And close your eyes down. So approaching the peak posture of our class. We'll take just 1 more drill to get there before we move into the main posture. But just revisit that idea we made at the beginning of class, rooting down, staying really strong and grounded in order to elevate up. So blink your eyes open, sweep your legs in front of you. Find a seat onto both sit bones. And then extend your left leg long. Bring your right knee on the outside of your right ribs, almost like a happy baby leg. You're going to wrap the right hand on the outside of the right foot, the left hand on the inside of the left foot. So inhale, almost like you're pulling a bow and arrow backwards. And then exhale, straighten into the right leg. Inhale, bow and arrow, draw it back, bend into the right knee. Exhale, straighten it out, lengthen through the hamstrings 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now bend into the right knee. And we're going to come into 8 ankle pose or elephant trunk pose. Not 8 ankle, just elephant trunk. So you're going to put your right hamstring on the back of your right shoulder, your right tricep, somewhere along the outer side of the arm. The higher the better. This is where blocks would be great right here underneath each palm, just to find some more lift and elevation. You're going to plant through both hands, and then you're going to hug your left hip flexor and engage through the core. Shift the weight forward and then lift the hips off of the mat. Left toes are curling back towards you. Take 1 more breath in, and exhale, release down. Extend the right leg long, shake out the legs, and then we'll switch sides. So keep that right leg long, bend the left knee, bring it on the outside of your ribs. And then encircle the left foot with both hands. Take an inhale. Exhale, straighten into the left leg. Ground through both sit bones. Inhale, bend the left knee on the outside of the body. Exhale, straighten. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale, straighten. Good. So let's find that elephant trunk pose. Wrap the left leg on the outside of the left arm, somewhere like a backpack strap. The higher the better. Again, use blocks if you would like. And then weight into both hands. You're going to shift your weight forward and really extend through your elbows. Press the ground away as you engage your right hip flexor, curling your right toes in towards your body. So inhale to prepare. And then exhale, press, push, lift everything off the mat. Inhale. Exhale, release down. Good. Shake out the legs, extend them in front of you. And then we'll come into firefly pose, Tadasana. So choose one side. We're going to do the backpack straps, but we're going to do them both. And the goal is, there's a couple variations of firefly, and it's still definitely something I'm working on. So you can find the option where both legs are parallel, toes are pointed, and your top body, your trunk is kind of crouched forward. So everything looks kind of like a parallel. Or another variation is try to really lift your toes upwards and open through your chest, gaze upwards as well. I'm going to do whatever I can get away with today because this is a tough pose. If you get frustrated, let's try one round with blocks and one round without blocks. So, placing the blocks just wider than shoulder width on either side of the legs. Wrap one leg around back. I'm going to start with my right, nice and high. And then wrap the other leg around the left tricep. Hands come onto the blocks. And then see, it's actually kind of hard with blocks. I can't find a lift there, so I'm going to go without. But plant through both palms, shift the weight forward, and then extend through your legs, straighten, straighten, straighten. Toes are pointed, hips are lifted, tailbone is flicking up and back behind you. Take one more breath in, and exhale, release. Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. We'll move through one more round. Take a few breaths to just calm here. Good, and rise back up. Let's do the other leg first. So I'm going to start with the left leg. Put your backpack strap on, plant through that hand. And then on the other side, put your other backpack strap on. I find that I have to hover both hands off just because of my mobility. And then once those legs are in place, shift the weight forward into your fingertips. Lift the bottom off the mat, straighten into the legs. And breathe. 2 more. Good, exhale, release. Nice job, that's a tough pose. As you can tell, I'm still very much working on it. But we took all the postures we needed to get there, all the drills we needed to do. It's just a work in progress, and any mountain you climb, any peak you climb is going to be tough. Try not to get discouraged. So let's kind of let our energy start to cool down a little bit. I want you to bring your feet wide, press through your palms, find Malasana Yogi Squat. Just sway your hips side to side. And then plant your palms down, find downward facing dog. Hips led up and back. We'll just kind of move through some of those similar shapes again. But with a different intention, instead of warming up, we're trying to cool down. So inhale, 3-legged dog, reach the right heel high. Exhale, plant your right foot in between your thumbs. Inhale, runner's lunge, broaden through your collarbones. Exhale, modified pyramid, straighten into the right leg, keep the left heel lifted. Inhale, runner's lunge. Exhale, modified pyramid. Inhale, bend into the right knee once again, swivel the left heel down this time. And then rise up into warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, let's find triangle pose. Good, bend into the right knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, triangle pose. Good. Inhale, both hands plant on the inside of the right foot. Bend your right knee. Finding a lizard variation, option to drop down onto the elbows, option to lower the left knee down. And just take 5 breaths. Good. Start to straighten into your right leg. Find a half splits variation where you actually untuck your left toes and sit your hips all the way back onto your heels, or at least your left heel. Right leg is long. Inhale, halfway lift through the spine. Exhale, fold and release. You can either continue to undulate through the spine or just stay in your fold here. Two more breaths. Good. Bend through your right knee. Plant both palms. Downward facing dog. Right foot meets the left at the back of the mat. Inhale, roll the spine forward. High plank. Exhale, bend the knees. Glide the hips high. Downward facing dog. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Reach the left heel high. Exhale, plant the left foot between the palms. Inhale into your runner's lunge, sinking the right hip down towards the mat. Exhale, modified pyramid, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend the left knee. This time swivel the right heel down. Find your warrior 2. Nice and gentle, nothing too fierce here. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Inhale, bend into the left knee. Reach the left arm overhead. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, Trikonasana. Good. Both hands plant on the inside of the left foot. So you might need to heel toe that foot out to the side. Inhale, broaden through your collarbones. And exhale, find your lizard variation, option to lower the right knee to the mat. Option to lower onto the elbows. Take 3 or 4 more breaths. Good. 1 more breath in. Exhale, straighten into the left leg, untuck the right toes, half splits, sit all the way onto the heel. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, fold, drape the body down, heavy over your thighs. Feeling ourselves coming down off the other side of that peak. The hard part is over. Now we cool down. 2 more breaths. Good. Now stretch both legs in front of you. We'll find one final little resting stretch. Forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So ground through both sit bones. Take a breath in just to lengthen, just to grow long through your side waist. And then exhale, fold the body down. Take whatever goal of this pose. If you really want to lengthen through your hamstring, keep the knees straight. If you want a little something more gentle, bend into the knees a little bit. And we'll hang out here for a few moments. 3 more breaths to sink into whatever you're in. And you start to ground down again. Good. You have the option to release into your Shavasana. Otherwise, this is the end of our class here today. So meet me in a seated posture if you want. Thank you for joining. We will go through 3 more classes in this series related to forest, like I said, space or desert, and then ocean. So I hope you enjoy them. If you did like this class, please share it with others. And then make sure you subscribe so you see the next classes as well. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.